Hello Marvel Strike Force fans, it's your friend the Fascinating Comic Guy here, and today I'm going to talk about characters that Marvel Strike Force could introduce to the game to create teams for characters that we want to use but we don't use because they have no home. And we will also talk about characters that can complete current teams that are missing people to complete them. So, we will get into it right away as soon as I click right here on the roster. So there's multiple teams, like for example, the current newest team to the game, the Young Avengers, are actually missing, they only have 4 people, obviously. A lot of people are using characters like Captain Marvel, just because she has that brawler tag with Miss Marvel. But, that's technically not, she's not technically part of the Young Avengers. So, first up on the list, I might as well go start off with the new team that's out, the Young Avengers. And a great addition, I think, would be to the Young Avengers would be Hawkeye. Now, by Hawkeye, I mean Girl Hawkeye. There's 2 Hawkeyes in the comic books right now, and there's the original, and then they decided to introduce a girl version of it for whatever reason. I guess she didn't want to be original and pick a different color, because she's like literally exactly like Hawkeye, and they have like no affiliation really with each other other than they've had a couple of team ups, but I don't know, it just seems like they don't really, they bicker once in a while. Like they were in the West Coast Avengers together, where he was basically like the mentor. Everyone kind of like looked up to him to see what he kind of like wanted to get everything organized, but the girl Hawkeye was the leader of the West Coast Avengers. And actually, West Coast Avengers would be a great team to add to the game too, because they have people like Kid Omega, they had Gwenpool, they even had America Chavez. So the reason why I think she would actually be great for the Young Avengers is because she actually was a Young Avenger, unlike pretty much everyone that's actually on that team. They just threw that tag on there just for the hell of it, I think. She'd be good with it because she is also best friends with America Chavez. She has worked with everyone on that team, basically. So, first character I think they should introduce to the game is the girl Hawkeye. So, another team that they have here that they haven't really done anything with are the Symbiotes. Well, they have done a little bit with it. They've done, we'll just go, where are you? Here we go, Symbiotes. So if you look, we're missing 2 people to complete the team. Now, these 3 by themselves are already a powerhouse. They do amazing together. A lot of people can actually do the last few nodes of Dark Dimensions 3 with just like really good Carnage and a really good Symbiote Spider-Man. I'm going to try and get all 3 of them in there. As you can see, I've already got Symbiote Spider-Man ready to go. Carnage is like more than halfway there. Venom will get there eventually. Just, when it comes to the store luck, I apparently don't get anything for Bio or even Mystic. I get tons of skill and tons of tech, especially tech. I got so much tech I could do a lot of people, but none of them are well worth it to do anything in the Dark Dimensions 3. But anyways, characters that they could introduce to the Symbiote team to make it great. So I think they could actually do a legendary with this one. And by legendary, I mean Null, the Symbiote God. He would be a great addition to this team. He might actually be way overpowered for it because he's pretty new into the comics. He's only been in the comics for about a year now. And he is just ridiculously powerful. He controls the Necro Sword. He was basically there when life first started, before light was even made. And basically he created the symbiotes, and then the symbiotes did a big uprising against him, and they put him into they trapped him in the symbiote homeworld. And now recently in the comics, Carnage broke him out kind of, and now he's coming to Earth to destroy it. So yeah, if you actually are interested in it, I definitely check out the storyline. The storyline is definitely one of the good ones that's actually coming out right now in the comics. So yeah, Null would be a really great character to have. After him, for the 5th, I would probably do Scream, actually. Why Scream? Well, she is she basically, she's got a different color. She's yellow. She's got long hair, and why not put a girl on the team, right? She's pretty cool, actually. Like, I've been reading her comics. She's a bit needy. The symbiote itself is actually pretty needy. It's when it comes to her and the host, and but yeah, I definitely do for the symbiote team to complete them. I would do Scream, and then I would do Null as a legendary unlock in the game, and that one would possibly actually be me. I would probably even say maybe make it a 6-star unlock, just because that character is supposed to be so overpowered. I know a lot of people would probably be like, how dare you do that? Put like a 6-star unlock. Phoenix was just BS when they were doing that. Now you want to do another 6-star unlock? No, I think that one should actually probably be a harder one to get, especially at the beginning. Although the only thing I don't like about it being a harder one to get is when I say harder one to get, that just means your wallet will suffer a little bit more, and that's not really a skill thing. I would prefer it by harder, it'd be more of a skill thing. So unfortunately, when they say let's make it harder, it's just going to cost you a little bit more money. So actually, no, maybe keep it as a 5-star. So another one I was thinking about was actually, one that they just really introduced recently is they finally completed the Marauders with Emma Frost. Now, something I did notice actually recently, I looked at her tags. She does not have any Marauder tag. She has a mutant tag, a global tag, a villain tag, and controller, but she doesn't actually have a Marauder tag. So maybe she's not actually meant to be like specifically for the Marauders. Maybe they'll put it in there later. Maybe it's something that they've neglected. But they finally added a 5th and to the Marauders, and it is supposed to be Emma Frost. Now, Beast. I personally think they should kind of stop doing. I think they just put Beast in there because they had him ready to go. But I think they should probably stop with the Beast. So another one that they have that they should do now is. So we will go to the Spiderverse. Guess who is by himself now? That's right, we have Spider-Man. He is all by himself. He used to have a whole lot of people. Like, if we got a whole lot of Spider-Verse characters here, but Spider-Man isn't part of any of their team, which is just awesome. Before it was Miles. Miles and him kind of hung out. They did their thing. But now Miles like, peace out, I'm going to go hang out with the people in the Young Avengers and Squirrel Girl and all that stuff. So Spider-Man's all by himself now. Who could they bring for Spider-Man? Well, great characters for Spider-Man. They could do Scarlet Spider, who, like, I think they just do pure Spider-Verse characters. Or they could actually even just add them to like the new Avengers, basically. But no, we'll just concentrate on the Spider-Man characters. So for this, I think they should do Scarlet Spider. Now there's actually 2 Scarlet Spiders. There's Ben Reilly and there's Kane. Now both are actually really great Spider-Men. I would maybe even recommend doing both of them just for the heck of it. Another one would be maybe, now this might be a little bit controversial. Now I think they should do the Superior Spider-Man or the Superior Dr. Octopus. Now they're currently releasing pretty soon Dr. Octopus. Now the difference between Dr. Octopus and Superior Dr. Octopus, now they are the same person, but the Superior one, now in the comics, Dr. Octopus was dying, and basically what he was doing, like, he was terminal. He was dying, he wasn't going to come back. So what he did was he switched minds with his mind into Peter Parker's mind, into Peter Parker's body. And Peter Parker's mind got put into the dying body of Dr. Octopus. So what happened here was when there was even like a little, at one point, a thing where he managed to get they were kind of fighting it back and forth, but in the end, Peter Parker's mind died with Dr. Octopus's his body. So basically, Dr. Ock was in Peter Parker's body, and no one was the wiser. Well, something happened in the mindset when Dr. Octopus was in his body. he ended up reliving every moment that Peter Parker had. So he had all of Dr. Octopus's memories and all of Peter Parker's memories. And when that happened, he ended up kind of developing a bit of a conscience. And so he now that's when he started calling himself the Superior Spider-Man. And then at one point, so he knew that he wasn't the real Peter Parker, and he knew he was Dr. Octopus, but he was a Superior Spider-Man. He ended up making a multi-billion-dollar company that put pretty much Tony Stark into bankruptcy. And yeah, it was really great. It was a pretty decent storyline. In the end, though, he fell in love with a woman, and in order for him to save her, he had to actually, I guess there were like traces of Peter Parker's mind still in his head, and he ended up going to Peter Parker saying, I need you to take over because you're the only person that can do this. I am sacrificing myself for this woman. I need you to save her for me. And it was actually a pretty powerful moment. Like, it was, I really liked it. I was like, wow, good for Doc Ock and all that stuff. While he sacrificed himself for a woman that he loved, and now she hates him in the comics, actually, because she felt betrayed that he kind of lied to her, type of thing. Then later after that, he managed to so he put his mind in like a body of a robot, and then the body of the robot managed to clone Peter Parker's body, and basically he put his mind into the clone. So now then he created a Superior Dr. Octopus, and I think he went back to the Superior Spider-Man again. So it was kind of like all over the place. But anyways, the Superior Dr. Octopus is actually more of a good guy than he is a bad guy. And same thing, like I said, he went back to being the Superior Spider-Man. He's just in a different city than Peter Parker. So Superior Spider-Man would definitely be a great addition, especially since him and Peter Parker, they just don't like each other at all for obvious reasons. The cool thing about the Superior Spider-Man is he's willing to kill people, probably, to get the job done, unlike Peter Parker. So, yeah, I definitely recommend the Superior Spider-Man. Spider-Gwen, no-brainer. Everyone would want Spider-Gwen in there. Spider-Woman, definitely. She would definitely make a good addition to the team. Then there is, like I said, the two Scarlet Spiders. There's Ben Reilly and then there's Kane. Both are amazing Scarlet Spiders. I would recommend both. If you do both of them at the same time, that'd be great. The only problem would be calling them both Scarlet Spider. I guess it would be like Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, brackets, and then Scarlet Spider, Kane. Or you can even do the original Kane character. That was he looked really cool in the comics too. Basically what happened here was Kane, Ben Reilly, they're both clones of Peter Parker. Kane was a failed clone experiment, basically. And he had all the pain and everything. He just had a whole bunch of pain in him. And he basically, when they killed him off, he came back to life. And when he came back to life, he was actually a perfect clone of Peter Parker, with his own old memories, of course. But the body was fixed, essentially. So he decided to call himself the Scarlet Spider. And they both have pretty awesome looking costumes. So yeah, I'd recommend either a couple of the Scarlet Spiders for the Spiderverse team. I would definitely recommend the Superior Spider-Man. He even does have a different costume. You could even do the Iron Spider, but I probably wouldn't do the Iron Spider. Now, if you want to kind of get away from actual spider people for it, you could add the Prowler. Now, I know in the Spider-Verse movie, he was a bad guy, but in the comics, he started off as a bad guy, turned into a good guy. Even in the animated series, he started off as a bad guy, turned into a good guy. So I'd probably even recommend the Prowler would be a good addition for Spider-Man in the comics, for a Spider-Man team. Actually, if you even want to go even further, you could even add Cloak and Dagger, because they were originally introduced in one of Spider-Man's comics back in the day. So you could do, if you want to, you could have a whole complete team of characters that aren't not even related to having a spider, Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Gwen. You can even ignore all those people. And if you want to, you could do, let's say, Mockingbird. Mockingbird would be a great addition because she actually dated Spider-Man for a bit. and they did a lot of team-ups together. Again, she was in one of his comics. Then I would recommend Cloak and Dagger. They'd be great. Like I said, they were introduced in one of his comics. And then I would also recommend Prowler. So yeah, those are 4 characters that you could introduce for a Spider-Man team, just to actually use Spider-Man. Like, come on, he's one of the best characters in the comic books. Why doesn't he have a home? And lastly, for today, I am going to talk about a character that we all really wish had a home. We all look at him and we're like, why? Why doesn't he have a home? And it's Winter Soldier. What has Winter Soldier been doing in the comics? Well, he could actually be part of a brand new team called the Thunderbolts. Well, not a brand new team, they're old in the comics. But I think he would be great. Like, he was part of the Thunderbolts. I think he even ran it at one point. And I think he would do great. So, characters I think they should add to the game for it would be Atlas / Goliath. And then probably Jolt, I think would be a good character for it. Baron Zemo. And just for the heck of it, they could even use Crossbones, because Crossbones was also a Thunderbolt, was on the Thunderbolts at one point. So for Winter Soldier, I would probably say let's give him the Thunderbolts team, right? We'll throw in Baron if you want to. You can make him a freaking legendary. I don't care. We'll toss in Atlas. You could even put in Songbird. Songbird would be a good character for it, or Jolt. Jolt would be a good one for it too. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of my list of characters that I think Marvel Strike Force could add to the game to utilize some of the characters that are currently in the game, and to complete teams that are missing, that are incomplete. Like, I think I'm probably missing a team or two, but let's see here. Those are the ones that are just off the top of my head that I can really think of. And yeah, I think the Winter Soldier and Crossbones should be part of a Thunderbolt team with Atlas, Baron Zemo, and include a Songbird or Jolt for the other 3 members. Spider-Man, I told you all the characters I think should be he should get part of his team. With the Symbiotes, I thought Null and Scream would be great. And for the Young Avengers, I definitely think Girl Hawkeye would be great for it. So, yeah, I hope you guys thought that was entertaining and interesting. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button on the left and check out one of my other videos on the right. Have yourself a good day, a good night, and a good morning. Peace.